Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction and read-through for Kubera Season 2, Episodes 141, 142, and 143, so you're getting another Tuesday Kubera. I was planning to do it Monday as usual, but by the time I finished work and stuff IRL, and then went and got dinner, got home, got a shower and everything, it was like 1:30 a.m., so I just went to sleep, and I'm recording this, and I'm gonna plan to edit, render, upload, do everything for it. First thing, I just woke up Tuesday morning, so you're gonna have another Tuesday Kubera, and then I'll do ORV later this afternoon once I do some IRL stuff. But yeah, either way, let's start reading. I don't think there's too much I want to talk about ahead of time. We're just continuing on where we were with Your Justice and Mine. And yeah, the only real thing to bring up is to say thank you again for all your comments and everything. I always really love and appreciate how much everybody supports me reading Kubera and everything. And usually a lot of times things are so comprehensive that I'm like, maybe it's just my own social insecurity or my own social failing. A lot of time I just read the comments and I'm like, wow, I don't really have anything to add other than, thank you. So I did want to thank everybody, but either way, let's start reading. And since I just woke up, sorry if I have to fight with my voice a little bit reading this. We're starting out though, we have Lee's with the the scarf of bondage. Then I'm hungry. Come to think of it, when did I last eat something? But I don't really feel like going to look for something to eat. I used to put everything aside just to eat whenever I was hungry before. Now I'm not even sure why I was like that. Kaz would probably tease me and ask me if I'm on a diet if he saw me now. And she hears knocking. And somebody, or no, she opens the door. I thought it was somebody coming in. Who? And she has a mountain of gifts. Then, Part 2, Episode 141, Your Justice and Mine. Okay, they said, I was about to make guesses, but then someone stole tons of food from the kitchens, probably Yuta then. I was going to say, is this going to be Ron, Mirha, but okay, Yuta then. Fruits, crackers, they took almost all of the prepared food that can be eaten right away. Even the meat is gone. Hey, for someone to have stolen from a temple, that's actually kind of impressive. Still, now that Air Plateau arrived here, we can get food from them. Sorry, Cossack, it looks like the kitchen's been around. Cossack's pissed. You'll have to look for meat in another kitchen. Forget it. Just get out. What? What are you gonna do here? There's almost nothing left for you to eat, Hey, don't talk back to Cossack. Just go. Hurry. Okay. How long have you been here? I heard that you left Calibloom. How long I've been here isn't what really matters, is it, Cossack? And we have Yuta eating. The really important thing is whose side I'm going to take in this battle, and whether we're friends or enemies right now. We're neither friends nor enemies. We could also be both. Okay, and we're gonna cut away, are we? We have a Terra. This can't be. Asha. Huh. Ever since she was a student, she's never seemed to care at all about the rights for halves. Still, this is over the top. How could a person do something like this if they even have a shred of compassion? Is that a new official letter? What is it? Why are you hiding it? Isn't it an official letter for the temple? Well, it's just, this is going to mess with her vigor production because she's going to be upset that her friend is going through all this, or did all of this and is going through all of this because of doing all of this. A deposit statement? So it was addressed personally to you. That's right, it's for me. Part of it is official, but since Agni insisted, make sure that Brilith doesn't find out about Asha's trial. Brilith wouldn't be able to forgive actions like these with her values. The moment she finds out, she would be shocked and totally drained of vigor. On top of that, she would lose the only thing that kept her going when she was in a life and death crisis. If the situation were more stable, I would at least tell her and try to help her recover her peace of mind. But being in a situation now where a fight could break out any day, we need to hide it from Brilith. And I like that we're seeing, for all of his wisdom and insight as a god, this is still a bad situation, because if we're in some tense, dramatic, middle of an invasion kind of moment and she finds out, that's going to be like the worst time. That's going to be even worse timing than now pre-invasion. So this could be set up for things going very badly. And then, being in a situation where a fight could break out any day, we need to hide it from Brilith, since I get weaker too when Brilith is unstable. But why would they send such a large sum of money from Rentalo? They're daily sending the kind of money that most citizens could never dream of earning in their entire lives. My father's there as a mercenary right now. I see, so Cossack's earnings. But seeing how he's purposefully gone to such a dangerous area just to send money home to his daughter, he may not say it out loud, but it looks like he cares about you a lot. Miss Priestess, big news. Air Plateau was moved to Rentalo. They took all of the magicians who were at the Grand Magicians Conference with them. It looks like they're going to fight with the Shuras at Rentalo. What? How could they do something that significant before telling us beforehand, or without telling us beforehand? I did get a document before asking whether this was the best option or whether they should stop. And you let them because you decided that was the best option. Well, the best option, well, yeah, it's the best option that the humans have. Will the damage be serious? I hear that the Shuras around Rentalo are ridiculously powerful. Are you worried about Rentalo, or about Cossack who's in Rentalo? You probably won't be able to help as you did in the previous attacks, will you, Agni? And then we have gold coins given to her. The contract may be terminated. Okay, ways that the contract can be terminated are probably important. Where Cossack or the temple announce the cancellation without payment, or announce cancellation, 2 days pass without payment being sent, and then Cossack passes away are the 3 ways that they can terminate it. Okay. So, will Cossack die? I don't know. Hoping not. I'm thinking probably not. It feels like Kurigam doesn't like to kill characters unless it's a really big deal, and this battle's going to be a really big deal, so it could kind of go either way in that sense. But, yeah, they might not even come into play. I won't. I can't leave Atera. I used to be able to leave, but not anymore, because I can't get too far away from Brilith. Then why don't we go together? As long as we're sure that Atera isn't an attack target for the Shuras. It would be better for you to go and help them than to stay here and protect Atera. If not being able to be far away from me is the problem, you can just take me with you. And again, if he does, that's even setting up further that she finds out at a bad time and he gets drained of his power. That's right, I can handle Atera's barrier, says Ogwin. But that would make you a target, Brilith. Since it would be easier to catch you than to face me, the enemies would go after you. You may experience something even more terrible than the last attack on Atera. Still, we can't just stand by and watch. There's a huge difference between whether you help out or not. How could I back out when all the other magicians are getting involved? There are a lot of humans who say that kind of thing on the outside, but inside most of them worry about their own safety and calculate everything selfishly. And then he's reading her through insight. Could it be that he's worried that I'd get in the way? It's still better than not going at all, though. That idiot Smith, he could save so many people. His public image would only get worse if he just stayed here now that everyone knows about him getting summoned. Think about your reputation, you silly god. Alright then, if that's what you want, Priestess, then let's go together to Rentalo. Okay, really good setup chapter. This entire thing, we set up a conversation between Yuta and Cossack. I don't know if that'll get off-screened, and then we may or may not cut back to it later when it comes to be important, or if we'll maybe get that next chapter. We set up that, and then we did a bunch of setup for things happening with Ogwin's relationship with Cossack, and with both Brilith and Agni's characters. We got further depth and insight, no pun intended, into them. and set up for them joining the Rindalo stuff and things potentially going really badly, because it feels like we just subtly hinted at all the different ways that things could go bad. And they're like, oh, they could go after you. Oh, she could figure out this. Oh, I get weaker if she figures out this, or if her emotions aren't stable. Like, there's just, like, subtly dropping all these ways that things could go really badly for Agni and Brilith. So it just feels like, are they like purposefully setting all that up to make us think, oh great, things are probably going to go badly, or are they setting it up because it's going to be important when things go really badly? But either way, I thought it was a really good chapter once again. But yeah, let's read the afterword before we keep reading. And honestly, something with the afterword, the wiki used to always have the afterword for each chapter, so all I would have to do was click on the chapter I needed to go to, which is super easy, and then the afterword would be there. But now, ever since I have to go to the actual blog and translate it, it's not really a big problem. It's like, not like I think that the wiki should include every single blog translation, but it is weird to me that after a certain, like, a little ways into season 2, there aren't even links to the blog on the wiki. I don't know, that one to me just seemed like again, it's not like they're required to include links to the blog. It just kind of feels weird that after a certain bit that there aren't any links to the blog. Like, I have to actually go to the blog itself and then find the chapter I'm looking for there. It's not like that big of an inconvenience or anything, it's just something I found weird. Blog this time, though, says Agwem was also once a candidate for the priesthood of Atera. And then the Lee's diet failed before even starting. The fruit on top feels like mango plus banana. Okay, so it's, you know, I sound like freaking Luffy or something from One Piece. So it's a mystery fruit. And then, of course, anyone, I guess, from England is probably like the Leeds diet. I wanted to eat meat, so I put my heart into it. And then, if you watch without dialogue, it's a scene where two women are appealing to each other with a man between them. Then, empathy 264. Okay. Well, either way, I want to keep reading, so let's continue on. Okay, Your Justice in Mind Part 8. We start off seeing the city above the city, and if they cause the city to fall somehow, this would be a disastrous miscalculation for the humans, or if somehow they just are so powerful they blow up the floating island. Again, that's disastrous for the city below. The city above would be destroyed by that. And yeah, again, disastrous miscalculation by the humans if that's something that happens. Wow, this is incredible. I heard that Aero Plateau itself came to help us out. There are tons of high-ranking magicians, too. I heard that even Claude came. Wow, awesome. The Temple of Death is finally operating normally. Looks like we can finally relax a bit. And we have some Fadi watching on. It looks like the preparations are taking longer, because his condition has worsened. This is just buying time for the humans. Then, Marina's with her. Have you ever broken that city's barrier? How strong is it? I haven't broken this one. But when a human was in charge of Atera's barrier, it broke with just one hit of my Sunshine of Dawn. It sounds like such a happy, peaceful name. But I wonder then, because one of the barriers is sky for Aero Plateau, if a sky attack hits the sky barrier, since the Garuda or sky elemental, if a sky attack hits a sky barrier, is it like, I don't know, like most Pokemon types work? Is it not very effective because they're of the same type? Or does them being the same type mean that the attack just goes through or does even more damage? Like, it's one of those things where I'm like, does it being the same type have any effect? Does it make it easier for the attack? Like, the attack does more damage, or does it, like, negate the attack even more? But the problem is that if it gets restored right away if there's a priest waiting near the barrier stone. Atera only has one barrier, so while it was broken for a second, Sagara went in and kidnapped the priestess. But even that would be tough if the barrier has several layers. The first barrier would be restored before you could break through all of them. What if you push yourself to break them? I haven't tried it, but I can break up to 2 layers, since I was obviously planning on breaking both layers myself before you got here. But now there are 4 layers. Looks like I'll have to do it. But you don't have a transcendental as powerful as the sunshine of dawn in your human form, do you? And if you're in Shura form, the turrets are... I can take the hits from the turrets with no problems. I've still never seen somebody's complete Shura form. But since 5th stage Rakshasas look half-human even in their Shura form... Okay, I can only assume that her Shura form would probably look a lot like mine. So, that's kind of interesting, because 5th stage Rakshasas, we have Yuta and Marna are both 4th stage, and while Marna is just full bird, I guess that means so he would look half-human even in Shura form if he goes up another stage, unless there's some mistranslation here. And Yuta, the difference is Yuta is already kind of human-shaped in his Shura form now. Like, he kind of just looks like a bit of a Power Rangers villain in his Shura form. Then, Your Justice and Mine, Part 8. So right now, they've got a 5th stage Rakshasa from the Garudas over there, although you probably didn't notice at all since they're hiding their power. 5th stage Rakshasa. I didn't think she was a Rakshasa. I thought she was a lower. I thought Samphati was a lower one. I thought she was like 5th stage. I guess it would have to be Upani. And I thought that was the whole big deal with her. And then, probably didn't notice since they're hiding their power. We won't have enough at this rate, even after combining 2 cities and having help from you and the magicians. We can't win. There's no chance we'll get mercilessly destroyed. You may be a half-dragon who can use 5th stage Rakshasa power, but the problem is that your true form is human, plus you're young. There's also the vigor issue, and you're really lacking in combat experience. It'll be especially clear that she'll be able to use the unique transcendentals of the 5th stage Rakshasas better than you. So, we won't be able to do anything if she starts firing transcendentals like crazy. Do you understand why I'm telling you this? Okay, I think the reason why is that he's saying that Cossack needs Yuta, because if Yuta cancels out her transcendentals, then Cossack will be able to handle her, but without Yuta canceling the transcendentals, Cossack doesn't stand a chance. Sounds like you're suggesting that you'd block the transcendentals and then we team up to beat them. But aren't the Garudas half the same clan as you? I'm not sure how to accept a suggestion of working together to destroy your own people. They may be from the same clan as me, but I have no way of beating them on my own with them trying to kill me. Actually, there's no guarantee that we'll win, even if I team up with you, Cossack, but I've even thought about giving up and running away. But running away just seems... And yeah, it makes sense for Yuta too, because Yuta, in order to kind of move around freely on Wilrarv and do what he wants, needs some body action out of the picture. Oh, wait a minute, Cossack. And he runs off. You didn't leave all of this here, Ron. That's strange. Then who did? I heard someone knock, so they must have left it for me to eat. You should have told me that you were hungry. Then I would have brought you along with Rana to the restaurant. What, together? You really don't understand girls. Aren't you being a bit too inattentive, considering you haven't seen her in months? Focus on her and take good care of her. You should go to her, not me, when you have free time right now. What are you talking about? Man, I love Ron so much. Does she think we're in a relationship because I said that thing about being taken before? That's probably how I feel. Or that's probably just how I feel. Ron is probably not very interested in me. Hold on. That road's all muddy. You'll ruin your shoes if you... It's okay, Ron. Someone made a stepping stone path here. I'm not sure who it was, but they must be a great person. And we have Chibi Yuta hiding around the corner. And just exasperated Cossack. Something suspicious here. We have Lila. We haven't seen Lila in forever. You took over the barrier way too quickly considering how hard you resisted coming here. I wouldn't say suspicious. I have to do my job with a situation like this. If you finally got your head screwed on straight, then I'm relieved. But, Lila, you said that's not your real name, right? So Lila is likely going to be the other Kubera then, if they're hinting at this. If I'm right, don't spoil me. I haven't been spoiled, so if I'm right, don't tell me. But there was another Kubera here, and we already have hints with Lila having some deeper relationship with, like, the god and everything. So, that's right. I forgot my real name when I was very young. Cover your face and forget the name you've used so far. If that still doesn't change your fate, then call for me. So, good chance she could be the other Kubera, unless we're supposed to think that she, like, it's a straight up red herring. We're supposed to think that she's the other Kubera, but actually she's not. Maybe she has maybe she has like Chandra's name or something, and we're going to be introducing another person with a god's name, even though that shouldn't affect their power or whatever. And if she is a Kubera, again, we don't know how the power of the name works. Does that mean that Lila needs to die for Lise to have more power? or is that just not how the power of the name works at all? Since you can only get an ID card with your real name, I have to get people to vouch for me wherever I go. It was a real pain until I obtained my magic license, which allowed me to pass through checkpoints. I see that must have been tough. She's lying about forgetting her name. I think she covers her face on purpose, in case she meets someone who knows her real name. But why are you suddenly bringing that up? It just crossed my mind out of the blue. I wasn't sure if you had said whether it was your real name or not. And then you've got to feel like Lila has to know what this is about, right? Like, even though she wasn't at the trial for Asha, she's got to know what this is about, yeah? Just make sure you manage the barrier properly. I'm going back to my business. All right, don't worry. I don't know why she couldn't kill her yet. She couldn't just get rid of... Or I think I know why she couldn't kill her yet. She couldn't just get rid of someone as powerful as her with such prestige and fame. But the situation's different now. In a final arena where there's no need to think about the consequences. So he thinks that Asha could go after her now at this point. Is Asha grading papers? Ashirahiro, you've been granted conditional release. Come this way. And then she smiles. Okay, so again, we've set up a lot of hints, much like with the last chapter. We set up a lot of things for the future with Samphadi and Kasak and Yuta. More Ron and Lee's stuff. Though again, that's important for their characters and everything. At the same time, you know, at the same time, I'm like, you can still be friends even if Ron has a girlfriend. Like, you don't have to be like, oh no, we can't hang out anymore. Like, you can still be friends. Especially when Ron never really particularly showed any romantic interest in Lise to begin with. But then, of course, we set up things with Lila and Claude and Asha. And we don't know if Claude is saying this because he wants to stop Asha from potentially killing Lila, or what Claude's goals are at all. He is still completely, like, he's been making moves this entire time, but there is still no way for me to get a read on what Claude actually wants or cares about. Like, I really, from everything he did in the airship, before the airship, with trying to stay away from the city, and going and being around everything that was going on at Calibloom, to now all of this stuff, it is so, and everything he did at the trial, it is so difficult to know why. Like, it's like one of those things where we can see, okay, he made this move, but then you're like, but what is the end goal? And I think that's really cool, because it's hard to write a character that's had so many things happen so far, and so much detail so far, and still have us as readers be like, well, I don't actually know why. I don't know why he's doing this. I don't know what he wants. But that's very fun. Either way, before we continue, though, let's go check out the afterword. The afterword this time says Marina is also a main character. Even if you don't come out, no one will come looking for you. I'll look for it. Come out, Marina. then I know there are different opinions about how strong Samfati is. You'll know it when you see it. Then Lisa's finally putting her baby clothes back on, but she still changes her shoes often. Then Claude, who always calls Lutz Young, speaks formally to him, but is speaking informally to Lila. It's even more surprising when you consider the age difference between Claude, 29-year-old pureblood, Lutz, 45-year-old quarterblood, and Lila, 56-year-old quarterblood. Why is this happening? So again, is it the familiarity of them both being from the same city and maybe they have a bit of a past together because of that? Or maybe he's just doing it because we know that Claude sometimes just likes to be abrasive, and maybe it's all a play to get people to think a certain way about him or something. But that could totally be a part of the reason why or anything. Empathy 263, by the way. Either way, though, we've got one more to read, so let's go check out Part 9. Your Justice in Mind Part 9 starts with Asha. I wonder, though, conditional release, like, surely with Asha's power, you've got to have her, like, very heavily watched. If so, who is doing the watching and how? You must have found it strange that there was no one around when you went outside. But I can't just walk right into the field of vision of a murderer who killed dozens of people. Oh, so they're just keeping people away. You would think they would be afraid that she would try to Hotiva you out of there. But I guess as long as she doesn't try to make a move, just have people waiting outside of the range of vision so that she can't Hotiyama anyone. Okay. Or Hotimarut, even more likely, I guess. Is that why you're talking to me from outside of my field of vision? You're more of a coward than I thought, and Asha hasn't spoken in forever. There's no way of telling what a magic murderer might do when backed into a corner. And I'm sure you especially dislike me, since there's almost no one to stop you once you kill me. Thank you for holding me in such high regard. So, why did you decide to let me out on parole? These are the records of using Hoti Vishnu that I pulled up prior to the Grand Magician's Conference. Okay. I didn't reveal this at the conference, but there was something strange about the most recent records. That is, honestly, could she have been escaping, making moves, and rewinding things so that people wouldn't notice? Then I didn't reveal this at the conference, but there was something strange about the most recent records. After using Hoti Vishnu more than 1,000 times, recently you've hardly used it at all. Starting from the most recent records, the last time you used it was to revive Teo. Okay, never mind. That was the most recent, but maybe now we're going to be shown the others that she's used throughout the series that we've seen. And before that, you used it once on the day you passed through the Calibloom checkpoint. Of course, it was when Yuta injured her before. Then before that, you used it 8 times in the waterways. Okay, this is how she dealt with and survived all the attacks from the Taraka. Then there's a blank period of 3 years, and the final time you used it before then was in N12. I was expecting her to have used it more and we just hadn't noticed. Because I feel like the, did we even see her say it? I feel like it was either heavily implied or she outright said it before we cut away when it was the Yuta scene. But I expected her to have used it more and for us to have just not noticed, and she was just doing some crazy stuff in the background. I was expecting more. And the final time you used it, before then, was in N12. This is the same time as when you went missing for 3 years. Let me ask you, Ashirahiro, where and what were you doing during those 3 years? Why were you hiding without passing through the checkpoints in any cities or using any magic? If you won't answer, then I'll tell you. For those 3 years, you didn't exist here. Okay, Your Justice in Mind Part 9. Come to think of it, even though a well-known person like you had disappeared, no one even tried to find you for 3 years, and no one really took this seriously. I was the same way. When I think about it now, I wonder if all of this was a penalty of Hoti Vishnu. With Vishnu currently having gone missing, there's no way that you could use that unfathomable Hoti Vishnu spell without any kind of penalty. You lost your existence for 3 years as a price for using Hoti Vishnu 1,000 times. And because of that, not only did you vanish for 3 years, but even the people who knew you started to forget about you. And maybe that was actually what you intended. You think I intended to lose my existence for 3 years? That's right, Ashirahiro. The executioner who used Totiyama on you at the time of the trial told me after he saw how much time you had left. Your remaining lifespan was supposed to end in N13. You have already lived past the day on which you were supposed to die. Okay, I wish I would have said something. I was thinking, did she... Well, I wasn't thinking she erased her existence because I feel like I had no prior hint that that was something that could happen to somebody. I was thinking that since you moved things back in time, can you push things up in time? And I was thinking maybe she pushed herself 3 years in the future because she was supposed to die before she could even find Lise, but because Lise is so important or whatever, she pushed herself up 3 years in time so that she could have all of this happen with Lise, is what I was thinking. That she just pushed herself up far, or maybe Lise would have been too young for her to, guide how she needed to, put Lise in the place that she needed to, give Lise the Sword of Return and everything, because Lise does seem to be a little bit, it feels like Asha doesn't want to kill Lise, but Asha was kind of grooming Lise, using Lise as a tool for her own revenge or plans or whatever she has intended. So I was thinking she pushed herself up enough that she could do all this stuff with Lise. And maybe that is how you erase your existence for 3 years. It's not like you just poof and then come back in 3 years and we're just waiting, reloading. Maybe rewinding things so much means you have to fast forward things. So she has to pay back the time she rewinds. Maybe she rewinded through those 1,000 uses, rewinded 3 years worth of time, and then had to pay it back by moving up 3 years. And everybody keeps saying how young Asha looks to be 20, and that might be because she pushed herself up 3 years and she's actually still physically 17. A person who was supposed to die in N13 managed to survive until N16 because she disappeared for 3 years. While practicing magic with thousands of Hoti Vishnus, you improved your magic abilities and extended your lifespan by 3 years. And after you managed to extend your lifespan like that, you refrained from using the spell so you wouldn't be penalized anymore. Very plausible. If I'm wrong, then explain your side of the story to me. No, you're right. Surprisingly so. With the highest authority on this planet, advanced magic abilities, outstanding intelligence, a naturally long lifespan as a quarter, and a sense of justice which is respected by people, you really are a perfect natural-born hero, Sahalun. Plus, if it's true that you've even received an oracle, then I really stand no chance against you. I wouldn't lie about receiving an oracle. That would be blasphemy. Sorry, I completely forgot that you're not a heretic at all. You're someone who serves God with your whole heart. You must be especially sensitive when it comes to blasphemy. Anyway, so what is it you want from me by showing me these Hoti Vishnu records? I'm sure you wouldn't have carelessly used a spell that could cause your own existence to vanish. You know how many times you've used Hoti Vishnu before you disappear, don't you? I do. But it must be that you can't use it 1,000 times as you did before, or else there's no way you'd refrain from using Hoti Vishnu like now. Yeah, that's also correct. Now, even if I just use Hoti Vishnu a few more times, I would vanish just like 3 years ago. Do you know exactly how many more times you need to use it in order to disappear? I can't tell you that. Anyway, this means that you could avoid the situation that's been dealt to you by using Hoti Vishnu at a critical moment and vanishing. Yes, I guess so. Well then, your role in this war will be very limited. Under different circumstances, I would have thought about letting you handle the barrier, but I can't leave the barrier in the hands of someone who could disappear like that. From now on, you'll be in a position where you directly fight the Shuras, but you'll be unable to harm the humans in any way. So you're telling me to fight outside the city? That's right. While you're waiting in that room, when you get the order, leave through the door at the opposite end from where you came in. You're now going to be sent into a battle among the Shuras without having contact with anyone. And of course, this feels like it's a setup for Lise to find out about it and run out of the city to go help Asha. Even after everything, Lise would run out there to go help her, and then we'll have whatever dramatic conclusion to their relationship potentially. You can either repent for your crimes, at least a little bit, by dealing as much damage to the Shuras as you can, or you can just fight a little bit and then run away without any repentance at all. Do as you wish. However, if I get even the slightest hint that you're helping the Shuras or working with them, I'll use Bhavati Shurya to kill you. Very well. Then I'll wait here until I get the order. Now, we're seeing a bit of the two cities. It's weird seeing it during the day with the sky so bright. Because usually I feel like the sky, whenever we see Rindhalo, is very purple with a bit of some reds in there. Hold on, Mira, forget it. I don't have to. Just stay still. I went to the trouble of preparing all this for you. Are you rejecting my sincerity? Hold on. You sure are Rao's daughter with those good looks. You just weren't taking advantage of them. Lise, you've been hiding yourself too much, although that would have been largely due to being trapped by Asha. Since you've decided to show people your existence and fight, I think you need to show them yourself at your best. Because if this all goes well, you could become a hero just as great as Rao. And we see Lise looking like her future self. Yuda's reaction. Live Yuda reaction. What just happened? She spread something on Lisa's face and her only flaw Jeez, Yuda's awful. He thought that current Lise was objectively not pretty. Oh no, this is driving me nuts. It's torture not being able to get any closer. What should I do? And the branch cracks and he falls. What was that noise? To be continued. Okay, and even further setup. I love that scene with Saha and Asha. That was so good. It feels like even the past chapters we were kind of like moving to the city basically, and dealing with Yuda and Lee's character stuff. But these 3 chapters really felt different than the previous 6. These 3 really felt like just a heavy setup for the battle and the characters involved. Very good stuff though. I enjoyed it a lot. I wonder if from here we're going to get even more character setup because we do have even more characters at play, or if now we're just going to start getting into the action of things. But I mean, I don't think we're going to jump straight into the action. We still have at least a little bit more ramping up to do, I would assume, from where we are now. But it'll be interesting to see where the next few chapters take us. But either way, before I stop reading, let's go check out the afterword this time. Afterword this time says, the fact that Asha appeared after disappearing for 3 years, starting with Luce? Luz? Wait, no, because that would be Lise. Was Luce Lisa's village? Starting with Luce in the beginning, people around me often said everyone thought it wasn't that strange and just let it go. Even though he was missing for 3 years, no one came looking for him. Even if you suddenly appear one day, no one will wonder what you're doing. This is quite strange considering Asha's usual fame. True. I mean, I guess that's what happened when your actual being, existence disappears. What do they mean by Luce? Was that a character I'm forgetting? Because at Atera, she just talked to like Brilith and stuff. Or, oh, Roosh probably. Yeah, probably Roosh at the beginning. Because Roosh would have found it strange that she didn't, notice Asha being missing and everything. The person who told Asha to come out in the last episode quickly ran away. Asha and Saha are polar opposites in many ways. The common denominator is that they have outstanding abilities. Then I'm in a fight with myself. Empathy 277. Okay, I am excited to continue. I'm trying my best not to look down and see any thumbnails or anything. But that's it for this week. I'm going to end things here because, again, there's probably going on 45 minutes, maybe not quite that long. But I want to go ahead and get this video up so that I can go eat and do IRL stuff and then come back to do ORV. But either way, thank you for watching. I really, really do appreciate it. Sorry that I don't have time to do even more Kubera, but if I did have even more time, there's so many other series I'd like to cover too. But I am very much enjoying it, and I love all of the support and getting to talk with all of you. So thank you as always. And also, I haven't looked at the patrons or members in a few days, so if there's anybody new, sorry I haven't updated it. I'll have to look again here. But thank you to people who are patrons and members, and, you know, usual, like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of the chapters, my thoughts and reactions. Subscribe for more Kubera, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. We can talk any of those places. If you'd like to help support the channel by sharing things around and by dropping a super thanks, thank you. It's very much appreciated. And if you'd like to help support the channel and also get your name at the end of videos here and get One Piece videos a bit early, then you can hit join down below to become a member. Go to patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. You know, it's really weird. I think the join button used to be an actual button down below. I don't know if it still is or not. Like, maybe any of you could tell me. I don't know if it still is or not. I think now, to become a member, you have to click the little 3 dots and then hit join. But that's so weird. Why do you have to... Why would YouTube do that? Like, it's an easy one click to like or dislike, or an easy one click to subscribe. But why not even show the not even show the membership option? Why have it so that you have to click to show the option, and it's like right there beside report and stuff? That feels like such a weird place for it. It feels like YouTube is always making itself worse. It's so strange. But either way, thank you to patrons and members. Thank you to chosen regulars Evan Hawley and Bertie Booster, Magical Girls, Nono, J.A. and The Band, Cheriton students, David Langstaff and Folded Ghoul, Slayer candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Elements, Paterial and Delsa the Storyteller. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.